So in our first session, we were introduced to our players, the crew of the SRS Eclipse, a salvage and rescue vessel. And we have Captain Hex, played by Elloriah, Medical Officer Cassiopea, played by TinyDraculina.
Hello.
We have Communication Officer Howle, played by Starry.
Yo, yo, yo.
We have our co-pilot, Kai, played by Ken.
What's good, motherfuckers?
We have the ship engineer, Gizmo, played by RedLethalPanda.
Nice guy.
And we have our salvage team member, Zarek, played by Duce Brickinson.
Hey.
Hey. As well as a further crew of NPCs, Dwerg the pilot, Meffin the engineer, Tomo the salvage appraiser, and Greebs the salvager. The crew was Greebs is adorable. We were responding to a deep distress signal, and the crew came across a huge abandoned vessel known as the Ravenloft, where they picked up a short-range voice message welcoming them aboard. Upon approach to the vessel, the ship's controls locked up and they crashed into the landing bay, causing severe damage to their ship, as well as a severe injury to Dwerg. Our player group decided to investigate the ship looking for replacement parts to repair their vessel, whilst Tomo, Meffin and Greebs stayed behind to work on the surface level repairs. Venturing into a grim arrival lounge, they found the remnants of a data slate entry. Diary entry describing a trespasser being haunted by visions of the ship's captain, Strahd von Zorovich. Eventually, the crew made their way deeper into the ship to the Barovia habitation block, where they descended a lift into a shantytown built in the shadow of a failing reactor. But during their descent, Gizmo, intrigued by the shiny engineering of the lift platform, pulled out a vital control cable, causing the lift to crash to the bottom of the chamber, rendering it useless.
Dickhead.
They then ventured out into the slums, and they met a curious figure, a vulture-like Arakocra called Rend, who was shuffling through a pile of scrap. Kai was able to make a deal with them in return for kind of some stolen things from the pile. And got
totally legitimate deal.
Totally legitimate deal, and they managed to get hold of a broken weapon, which Gizmo repurposed into a working plasma cutter. As the group then ventured deeper into the slums, they spotted strange graffiti on the walls, which Kai and Howle investigated, revealing several messages along the lines of death to the reactor gods. Whilst exploring, Howle became separated from the group, finding an abandoned slum room which appeared to have been inhabited by her brother Holt previously, with a card leading them to Bloodvine's bar, as well as a series of coordinates. The group then proceeded to visit the slums marketplace, where they found groups of people gathering to purchase radiation sickness medication, which Cass identified was extremely watered down. She analysed its structure with a view to replicating it back on the Eclipse. During this time, Gizmo also snuck to the front of the line disguised as a sickly crowd member and was injected with an unidentified purple liquid that seemed to have no initial effects. The group then proceeded to the Bloodvine bar, where they met Ismark Indorovich, a grizzled survivor and brother to the sector administrator Irina, who revealed that people often come through the Hab block, lured by the captain, and offered to get them registered with the administrator. Whilst in the bar, Gizmo was able to help repair Khan Flickersol, a malfunctioning Warforged bartender, and Kai approached kenarashivt and her crew, who stated that they would be willing to part with vital information if Kai was able to return their family ring, which was lost within the Berez waste refinery, the same place that the coordinates Howle's brother had left behind were pointing to. Ismark then proceeded to introduce the group to Irina, who registered them all with the ship's logs and agreed to help the crew get back to their ship via the administrator elevator to the Tsar deck. However, as the group were leaving, they encountered a figure on the bridge, which we'll recap in a moment. But before we jump into that, does anyone from the crew have any questions about things that happened last week, or things that they want to know before we jump into this first encounter?
Are we fucked?
A little bit.
Yes. Moving
And
on.
we fuck him.
Probably
Maybe.
not. Well,
That's
Not yet.
probably.
Oh. Not yet! Oh, it's a yet. Okay.
I mean, there's various connected to the ship, and there's wires. There's some form of I don't know, tentacle thing that could probably happen. I don't know. You might not be fucking him, but he might be fucking you.
he definitely fucks.
Yeah.
So I'm going to toggle the background music off from the chat. Does anybody, like I said, does anybody have any questions before we jump back into a recap of what exactly happened at the very end of last session?
I do not.
No.
Okay then.
No,
So-
the administrator shot themselves when Strahd turned up,
Oh yeah, Irina.
much
went
like the
back.
rest of us.
Is Mark told Irina to get herself locked inside?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are we good to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. Come on.
Let's go.
So we'll start off from you leaving the administrator office. We'll recap the introduction of Strahd, and then we'll crack on. So, as you left the administrator office with Irina and Ismark, you stepped onto a mechanical maintenance bridge that led from the office to these. And you noticed the streets below were unnaturally quiet. Even the reactor, which had been humming loudly in the background, seemed to have fallen silent for the first time since you arrived, and the hum of the ship seemed more distant, but continued to pulse with a steady, slow rhythm. Ismark turned to Irina, saying, "Go inside! Lock the door!" before looking at you all with a mixture of concern and care. Before long, a figure appeared in the distance, at the far side of the maintenance bridge, leading to the administrator's office. The figure was a man. His once pristine uniform, now an amalgamation of decayed fabric and biomechanical tendrils that pulsed in rhythm with the hum and lighting of the ship, connecting him intrinsically to it. His face was pale and gaunt, and framed by hair that was flowing weightlessly from his head like liquid obsidian, and his piercing crimson eyes were glowing with an unnatural intensity, radiating a feeling of malice and despair. Embedded in his chest was a large crystalline shard of impossible geometry, which was fused with his flesh, spreading veins of luminous black smoke that snaked across his body like a living infection. His movements were unnervingly fluid, as though the gravity around him was bending to his will, moving him weightlessly across the bridge. As he approached, all the shadows began to lengthen in his presence as the bridge's emergency lighting began to flicker on and off, casting him in a strobing light as he floated almost effortlessly across the bridge. As he spoke out, he spoke with a resonant, otherworldly echo, as though all the ship and the speakers and the intercoms were speaking with him. As he arrived, he says, "Ah, Ismark, my friend. I see you have met our latest arrivals. But where are my manners? I am Captain Strahd von Zorovich. Welcome aboard the Ravenloft. It is my pleasure to meet you all." And he leans back and looks at you all intently, and you all feel this driving feeling of pressure. Cass, you feel all the nanobots that fill your frame start to pull away from this figure, as if they're all trying to get away from this figure. Elloriah, your cybernetics, you feel them start to whir and twist as if they're trying their best to move away from the figure. Kai, you feel a surge of energy as your eyes light for a few seconds and then dull, just can keep pulsing, almost feeling the flow of the ship as well. Zarek, your mechanical arm starts to spark uncontrollably from joints. Gizmo, your mechanical arms that are attached to your suit all start to move on their own as if you're losing control of them. And Howle, your headset fills with static as you feel the pressure of the stare from this figure looking at you. And as he looks forward, he turns towards Ismark. Ismark, I come with tidings of good news. Your father, Kolyan, has agreed to my proposal to unite the Zorovich and Indorovich houses via marriage to Irina. Ismark looks out with a concerned look on his face. You're lying! My father would never agree to let you anywhere near Irina! Strahd just smiles. But he did. And reaches into his pocket and pulls out a data slate and hands it over to Ismark. What are you guys doing whilst Ismark is taking a look at this data slate?
Shitting my pants.
Yeah.
Trying to keep my nanobots where they are?
I'm
Trying not to turn into a werewolf?
See if I can, like, stay in contact with Jack more than anything.
Okay.
And that's what I'm worried about.
No, trying to stay in control is what I'm scared of. 'Cause Scully...
So-
Yeah, Kai like instinctively like tries to hide or like try to like lessen his presence as much as possible, I think.
Okay. So, as you, Hex, as you try and kind of stay in contact and stay connected to Grimdark, you hear his voice almost like it's distant. It doesn't feel like it's connected, it feels like it is a million miles away. But you can't quite make out what it's saying, it just feels garbled and disconnected. Howle, you're feeling your features almost like your form is slowly trying to go werewolf, but you can't actually transform. You're kind of like in this flux where you're feeling the feralness of the werewolf coming over you, but your body isn't changing. Almost like your body is instinctively trying to keep itself from becoming aggressive because it knows it's in danger.
Ew, I hate this!
Can I do a check on myself to make sure that everything's okay with my nanobots?
Yes, roll yourself a survival check.
Survival. Uh-oh!
That's a natural one.
Nanobot!
Well.
You've forgotten the concept of nanobots. What are they?
Oh!
So you
Daddy Strahd make me forget things!
you feel, as you're trying to connect with your nanobots, the connection is completely gone.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Ooh, okay.
And you can no longer sense the feeling. All the feeling in your body has gone numb, and you are paralyzed.
Oh.
Oh
No,
Ooh.
shit.
fuck.
Oh dear. Okay, I'll just watch then.
You can still talk. You just can't physically move.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Guess I'll just stand here.
Yes, I'll just die.
Kai, you back away slightly, and you manage to just kind of pull yourself to the back of the group. You haven't disappeared out of view, but you pulled yourself back.
Do I need to make like a self check or something?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Zarek, what are you doing?
I'm gonna attempt to put myself between
Aww.
Strahd and the others.
Okay, so you pull yourself forward to the front of the group. He's kind of off to the side of you, so you're between the group and Strahd. He's off to the side of you, closer to Ismark, but you are between Ismark and the rest of the people here.
Just to cover them.
Yeah, Gizmo, what are you doing?
I'm hiding behind some people's legs.
Okay, you're gonna go into hiding as well. Okay, at this point, Ismark looks up at Strahd. After look at the data slate, and Strahd looks at him again and goes, "As you can see from this statement, Kalyan has both his signature and ident number, agreeing to the union." Ismark looks up at him with this look of disgust. "Father would never agree to this. I want to hear this from his own mouth." I am so sorry, Ismark, but that is quite impossible. You see, Kalyan had a rather unfortunate accident involving the Ravenloft's B7 airlock. I'm sorry to say he's no longer aboard the Ravenloft. Ismark sort of staggers for a second and goes, "You did this! You did this all!" and pulls his sword and surges towards Strahd.
Oh, can
Uh-oh.
stop? No? Yes? Pull? No?
Before you can react, Strahd moves with lightning precision, and he's lifting Ismark off the floor with a single finger under his chin. You see all the lights start to flicker wildly, distant sirens can be heard, and sparks shower down from Ray's electronics. You hear the ship groan, and you see Strahd's face has been completely covered in this look of anger and completely twisted into this look of just wrath. He goes, "You dare aim to strike against me, he who is ancient, he who is the very beating heart of this ship." All the lighting flickers and goes black into pitch blackness. Before they flicker back on to their soft pulsing light, the anger on Strahd's face returned to his normal composure. "I give you your dues, my soon-to-be brother. You have spirit. I shall enjoy seeing it drain from you someday. But I shall not have my love lose her father and brother on the same day. I shall leave you to grieve. However, I shall return in 10 days to make Irina my bride. Know that if you stand in my way, I shall not hesitate to tear you limb from limb and put your remains on display for all to see. And he slowly lowers his mark to the ground and drifts backwards in an erratic flicker of motion. And turns towards you all. And my guests. I look forward to seeing what you do aboard the Ravenloft. Every visitor has their own plans when they are here. And I know that you're seeking to repair that ship of yours and make your escape. I love to see what the mice that get lost in my labyrinth do. And I'm excited to see what you do. Just don't be boring. He slowly floats backwards and goes, I shall take my leave now. Before I do, however, Ismark, it is important for you to know that I have revoked both yours and Irina's administrator-level ship access. I am giving you time to grieve, not to flee. And I do not want you moving freely throughout the ship. Ismark looks over with this look of shock and goes, But who will care for Barovia's residents? Someone's got to be here to care for them. You see, I have made Bildrath Cantemir the sector's new temporary administrator, until such time as my wedding to Irina is concluded. He is already well respected and feared within Barovia. Ismark lowers his sword with this look of just defeat. Bildrath. You made Bildrath the administrator? You've just sentenced half the block to death. He just smiles as his eyes flare up. Well, Ismark, maybe your reactor god will take pity on you. But just know there is only one god aboard this ship. And I am not listening. And with that, the lights flicker once more to black.
Oh shit!
That's a good line.
That was cold.
Yeah, that was good.
Did that give everyone else a shiver then? Oh
Yeah.
And when the lights flicker back on, he's gone.
I appreciate the dramatics.
I love it. Very zesty. Only someone who's zesty could be that dramatic.
Props to the soundtrack though.
So yeah, you're all left on the bridge. It's gone. All the ship sounds start to return to normal. The shadows shorten and go back to their normal positioning. The emergency lighting goes back to its original soft orange and red glows. And as things turn to normal, you all hear one last section of voice from Strahd. This time coming through every speaker, every intercom, every connected source of audio to this bridge, going, Now please enjoy your stay aboard the Ravenloft, my honoured guests. And he goes silent.
You're not a guest.
And all of you...
Yeah, I'm honoured.
and all of you kind of return to normal in terms of like the paralysis that comes over you, the fear, all of your circuitry that wasn't working, all of it just returns to normal as it goes back to how things were before he arrived.
I don't like
Okay.
that.
In the absence of Strahd, I fall to my knees in a dramatic fashion.
I was gonna do that.
In the presence of Strahd, you fall to your knees in an erotic fashion.
Yeah.
Well, you can pick. Right! It's Strahd. Rawr.
So Kai kind of like. So.
Yeah, he can float. He doesn't care if I'm on my knees or not.
True. Yeah.
Sorry.
Acceptable height. Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, I give up.
So I take a deep breath and kind of like relax slightly after he disappears, and I look around and see, like, kind of survey the scene of like everybody kind of like visibly shaken, and I try to add a bit of levity to the situation. So I speak up and go, "Whew, that was Johnny Big Bollocks, eh? What a barrel of laughs he was. Oi, Ismark, you alright, mate?"
Kai.
When you set this over to Ismark's just looking blankly at this data slate that Strahd has given him, just in complete shock, and you can see he's physically shaking.
Yeah, I don't reckon he's alright. Cass, do you want to give him a check?
I get back up off my knees and stuff, and put my hand on Ismark's shoulder.
He you can tell he's like shaking from this encounter. He looks over his shoulder towards the group, and then back to the office where Arena was, going, "We've got to do something. Well, I've got to do something. We can't leave the sector." And he looks at you lot and says, "And that also means we can't use the admin lift up to the next floor."
Wait, didn't we get passes last time? Or was it
passes,
just...
but it's not admin clearance.
Yeah,
so the admin lift, I guess, is different, right?
Yeah, you were added onto the system as passes to be able to travel around with, basically be able to travel within the hab block. So it was like your pass to say that you were in the ship. But they were going to take you up the admin lift to the upper floor,
but
because
they're not
the other
admins anymore.
But they're not
Yeah.
admins anymore. So they're basically their ability to leave the sector has been removed, and because they were taking you out of the sector, you're now not able to leave either.
Fair.
And he looks over towards Arena and goes, "Oh, Arena's like office. I don't even know how to tell her this. We need to get her out of here."
Take a moment for yourself first.
He kind of takes a breath, and you can see that even though he's trying to get his grip together on himself, he isn't concerned about himself. He's concerned about Arena, and he's just mumbling to himself about needing to get out of the sector. What are you guys doing?
Well, we're heading out of the sector, I suppose.
We can't, can we?
We can't
Yeah,
get
we're
it. Sector.
Bill
So-
has the admin now, right?
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
say.
Bill-
Kai pipes up to Hex and goes, "Oi, Captain, sounds like that Bildrath's just become a bit more of a big problem now that he's admin over the ad block as well. Do you reckon we should have a look?"
Yeah, we should definitely go check out Bildrath. Ismark
Yes.
might be a bit of an insensitive question. But why? I mean, other than the complete obviousness that this so-called captain is, what's so bad about being married to him?
He looks at you
Marriage
all
is
this.
about love.
He kind of as you say that, Howle, he smiles and just says, "He is obsessed. He has been obsessed with Irina for years. We have done our best to keep him at arm's length because, as you can tell, he's not quite human, and those he's taken, he takes and he uses and he twists them into beings like himself, and I can't let Arena go through that. And his obsession will not let him stop. He will keep coming for her. And now..."
What has he done in the past? What has he done in the past?
He killed several of her friends trying to isolate her so that she would give in to his desires. He's also, from stories that we've been passed on, people he falls into this obsession with, he doesn't stop until either they're dead or they're part of his twisted group.
And another question, again, insensitive. If Arena did marry him, would that ensure the survival of every of the sector?
If anything, it probably puts them more at risk. Because, well, he pulls out his own data slate and he hands it over to you. And you can see there are several hab blocks on different floors that are highlighted. It's like a ship readout, and he opens it all up and shows you this readout. And there are several hab blocks that are highlighted, and you can see several of them have got life support disabled stickers underneath them. He has been working his way through the ship, closing out the hab blocks. I fear once he has what he wants from this block, he'll simply shut it down.
And what's this reactor god that he was on about?
He looks down at his hand where he's got this ring on. He kind of holds his hand up and says, "The reactor god is a local legend within the hab block. Several years ago, when the reactor started to fail, a Warforged helped more than anyone else. They bound themselves to the reactor, keeping it stable for many years, and he's still keeping it stable as far as I can tell. He's gave up everything that he had to become one with the reactor to keep us safe. So they call him the reactor god."
What a lad!
Where is this?
He looks up at the reactor itself and goes, "In the core." And kind of points towards the reactor.
Ah, so not exactly someone we can go and talk to, huh?
No, not unless you want to be blasted with. What kind of reactor is it? Radium?
Wait, I'm Warforged. Can I go in there?
Well, you haven't had to check for any radiation checks yet. No, but nobody has yet. But
Oh.
you haven't had to check for radiation checks. I'm pretty sure Warforged.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about anyone else, but I really want to talk to this Spelldraft person, because he seems like everywhere we go, it points to him for some reason.
Seems a bit of a dick.
I mean, considering
If-
he's been hoarding the rad meds as well.
If we can act civil, I think we'll get more information than just straight up whack-a-moling him.
And if it's not
Then we
civil,
can whack-a-mole him.
Hey, I might be able to, twist his arm a little bit. You know what I mean?
Twist his dick. Give him the
He
old
might,
dick twist.
maybe.
Oh wait, we've got to test that new
Maybe
blaster out. Still have
he's
that.
a little pussy hole, you know? You don't know.
Give him the good old dick twist.
Oh, I think our voices have gone robotic.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah,
switch,
yeah.
switch, switch chat back. Sorry, for those in chat, we have been having some problems with Discord tonight, so we're going to switch chat and then back. We're back in just a second.
Oh, no.
Okay. And then back. Has that fixed things? Oh no. Hello?
The robot.
Son of a bitch.
It's
Oh,
fucking
no.
Strahd in the network.
Okay, right.
God damn it, Rod.
Let's just try changing over to the channel and see if that works.
Okay.
Okay.
Someone drag
Yeah,
me.
try every-
Thank you.
Hello?
I love how much
That's-
we're getting to
that's
hear the gup.
Hey, there we are. We got it. We got it.
Yeah,
That's got it.
Hey.
Yeah, you gotta love
Yay,
Discord being fucky wucky on D&D night.
We
Collab
love
Boys
it.
Chat 1 is cursed by Strahd, obviously.
Nice segue, nice segue.
Nice, like it, like it. Okay. So you guys were discussing what to do.
Well, yeah, Bildrath is very obviously a problem, so I guess we should head on back, right?
Oh, can we get an arena first?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should make sure our arena's okay first.
Hmm.
We haven't met this Bildrath person at all, have we?
Didn't we see
heard
him
of them.
exiting? We saw him exiting at one point, right? Like the pub or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he exited the pub and then went across to a elevator or some set of stairs that went up.
Yeah, he went up the admin lifts.
Right.
Oh, so he was given admin privileges
Mm-hmm.
before.
So that means we
Yeah,
probably need to
yeah,
find
he's
somebody
in
else
charge
who
of
has
everywhere
admin. Yeah.
If I recall, he's not really that much of a threat. It's his lackeys, from what I remember.
It's
His
big
backup
boy.
muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we could try and get him away from them.
Potentially, but then how are we gonna do
Could make
that?
life easier.
I'm not
You could
above.
create a.
Or even if we can just separate them for a time being, we can pick them off one by one.
I'm not above
Mm.
lying to bad people.
I'm not above absolutely scaring the shit out of bad people either.
I'm not opposed to anything.
I'm not above
And I
telling
will
the
heal
nasty
you no
boys.
matter what.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. Speaking of healing,
mm.
I am a bit bruised.
Ah.
Is it here a good place to take like a short rest, maybe?
Maybe
Before-
inside the
Yeah, let's go. Let's go
office?
chat to Arena and just
Yeah, let's go
have
catch
a-
up with
Yeah.
Arena.
Ooh, let's just have a breath. Before we go anywhere, can I pull on Ismark's shirt for a second?
Yeah, sure. You walk over and you kind of pull on his shirt. Yeah.
I would like to give him a hug.
You place your arms around and give him a hug.
Just go into his ears. You're a great big brother.
He looks at you with a smile, and he kind of places his arms around you and hugs you back, and says, "I don't feel like it sometimes, but
Aww.
Okay. As I'm still in the vicinity, can I group hug?
you group
We're
hug.
group hugging
You
the
group
shit
hug.
out of
Yeah.
You group hug.
Because I got my hand on his shoulder, so it's like.
Yeah, you guys group hug. And then you all start making your way along the bridge towards the admin office.
Yep, that's cool.
So you go into the admin office, and the door is open. So it looks like since the admin permissions were removed, the door automatically opened to let Arena out. But she's still in there.
Right.
And Ismark runs over to her and puts his arms around her. And he just starts talking to her. And from where you are as you're coming in, it's a little bit kind of incomprehensible at distance, as you kind of all settle yourselves into the room. As you get closer, you hear him muttering to her and kind of showing her the data slate that Strahd had given to him. What are you guys doing?
Okay, may I look around at the admin office computers and see if I can use the like lockpicking / hacking skills to possibly upgrade our clearance at all?
Yeah, I
You
wanted
can
to look
definitely
at the
try it.
comm stuff and see what was going on there.
I want to look at the data slate and see if I can basically, I don't know, like reverse hack and get some more information about the sectors and build RAF.
Okay. So, oh, go on. Sorry.
I was gonna say, excuse me, Captain. Can I work on the plasma cutter a little bit? Make sure it doesn't disappear.
Yeah, no
Working.
problem. I'd hand it
I'll
over.
then just like begin working on it to make it a more permanent fixture.
Perfect. Yep.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so we'll start
Angry
off
comms.
with Howle looking at the comms unit. So, in the corner of the room, in the admin office, there is a small console that's kind of picking up transmissions from other parts of the ship. And it's just like little garbled messages of like status updates and readouts. Roll an investigation check.
Mm-hmm. I found it. Yeah, I'm smart.
Nice.
Nice. So you start kind of listening to some of the recordings, and if you so wish, you would be able to add the communications tool into your headphone kind of structure so that you can pick up short-range transmissions from the ship as you're traveling through.
Oh my god, yeah!
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Okay?
Well, that's awesome.
It's kind of huge.
It'll only pick up transmissions within the block that you're in, but it'll let you pick up short-range transmissions.
Not big. Hell
Yep.
yeah.
And in terms of what you're kind of gathering from the sector itself is basically suffering from quite high levels of radiation. It's also having a lot of issues with electronic failures. The reactor is constantly showing shielding failure messages. But that's what you're kind of getting from the communication. So the kind of output on the radio is like the different structural readouts, and they're kind of reading out failure messages after failure messages. So it looks like the systems are basically being held together by masking tape at this point. You know, it's all duct taped together at this point.
Ew!
Okay.
You better carry your ship.
Okay, and then, Kai, what were you doing? Ian? You're going to try and upgrade the clearances from the hacking, yeah?
Yeah, so I want to, like, Kai's kind of tapping around on computers, searching the database for, like, any people that Bildrath is expecting as a guest, or a possible, like, VIP or anything like that. And he's hoping to try and almost, like, forge, like, temporary VIP clearance that might allow us up the VIP lift, the admin lift, as like a quote-unquote guest of Bildrath or something like that, or allow us through like possible doors that we might not be able to get through anyways.
Okay, in that case then, I would say roll investigation to see if you can find the right systems, then sleight of hand to actually do it.
Gotcha.
Hell
Strong.
yeah! Wow,
Okay.
we can
Nice.
roll.
Okay, now sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
You have +7 on this, so it's a good job you have +7 on
Can
this.
I re-roll this?
You do have one reroll banked
You have a reroll.
from the fortune.
Let's try it again. A little bit
Hell
better.
yeah!
Okay. Was it about the same roll twice?
The first one was 10, second one was 16.
Yeah, for me it showed 10 twice on my side. Okay, cool.
Oh, weird.
So, you start investigating through the systems, and although you can't find anything that's going to give you access to the admin lift, because that part of the system has been completely locked off, you do find a list of imports that are coming to and from Bildrath's Mercantile. So you're not able to really forge yourself access, but you're able to kind of track down what's arriving and when. And you manage to track that there is a shipment of Cortex jacks, which are plug-in interfaces that are basically brain interfaces for machinery. That is being brought in from the Tsar sector, which is the floor above you, into Bildrath's, and they're arriving in around 4 hours' time.
Right, okay, so we might be able to possibly like piggyback and go up a floor? That's kind of what I'm thinking. So, oi, Captain, come over and have a look at this.
No worries. Go and have a look.
Okay.
So I kind of communicate like, "Here, Captain, there's this shipment of Cortex things, right? It's arriving in a few hours. I reckon we might be able to get a bit closer if we can maybe piggyback off of the returning shipment from this."
Sorry, just making it out. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Where's it coming from?
Fuck, what was the name of the place? Sorry.
The Tsar sector, TZAR.
It's coming from the Tsar sector, which seems to be one floor above us.
I'm gonna use the slate and like look where the Tsar sector is, and basically like plan a little. Am I thinking that this little device is like a little mobile?
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's like a little tablet that has
Tablet.
like, schematics
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
ship on.
Okay, thought
Hell
so.
yeah.
And then I'm going to use Google Maps, but Strahd version, to plan a route.
So we have Spotify, we have Google Maps.
Totally not sponsored stream.
Yeah.
Totally not sponsored stream. But did you know that you could get good service from NordVPN? Because for those
If
who
only
aren't
we had
aware,
NordVPN, then Strahd wouldn't have fucked us over so much.
yes, because for those who aren't aware, the YouTube content version of this campaign is now sponsored by NordVPN.
Let's go!
Yeah.
And see, if Cass had NordVPN installed, then the nanobots might not have disconnected, you know?
Exactly.
I was gonna make that joke.
So, Hex, you start looking at this. Oops, sorry, Cass. Sorry.
I say, speaking of my nanobots, could I go and have a look at the reactor in a bit when people have finished doing what they're doing?
Yes, you're in a different section of the sector. You'd have to make your way back to the main slums, but you could get to the reactor from there.
Yeah, I'd like to go and do that while everybody's doing this.
Okay, so you're going to start heading off towards the reactor, yeah?
Yeah, I turn to the captain to say, I'm just going to go and see if I can communicate with the Warforged.
Quite far away, is it not, Cass? To go on your own?
I'm sure I'll be
Are-
fine.
Are there any like med kits or anything floating about in this admin office?
No.
I know health and safety things. There'd
No,
be,
no,
like
no.
first aid boxes floating around.
No.
In
No.
this place? With
but
this
yeah, I mean,
budget?
Well,
In this
Yeah,
economy?
in a proper ship, there would be.
Does this look like a proper
But
ship?
we're not. Yeah,
I'm
I think
gonna- So I'm gonna pipe up and be like, I don't know about having the medical officer alone. We got a few hours until this shipment comes. I reckon maybe we could head back together after we're all cleared up here, right?
Yeah, I think if we stick together, it might be better. Like, we've got this build draft guy. Yeah,
I mean, looking
we
at
could
kind of the ship
definitely go check
structure.
it out, though, Cass.
Yeah, looking at the ship structure. I mean, Cass would be the only one that'd be able to get near it. But,
Yeah.
it isn't far from the marketplace, so if you were to take a short rest now, Cash, you would be able to get to the reactor and probably back in time for the shipment. If you took
Actually,
a short rest
I should probably take a short rest. I'm just looking at my hit points.
all of it.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
So, just before we kind of carry on, so Hex, you were looking for kind of the structure of the floors and kind of where to go to. So, just to give you a bit of an idea of what you see on the tablet. So, the Tsar floor is a sector that's directly above the habitat block. It is labelled as another hab block, specifically noted to be run by a group called the Vistana, who are basically the people who work for Strahd. And it's very, very clear that they are kind of like a free roaming. So you can see on the information section it says that they are basically the only group of people within the crew that aren't able to move throughout the whole ship freely.
Okay.
And they deal with all sorts of different things.
Okay.
In terms of getting to it, it is literally just the admin lift that goes up to it. You can also get to it going back up the lift that you came in, and then going up the core elevator lifts that were further down that same hallway that you came in from.
Kai, we've got a bit of an issue. We can't.
What's the problem, Captain?
We can't get to Tsar. You have to go up one of the lifts.
See, I was thinking because they got that shipment coming in, they have to go back, surely, right? So would we maybe be able to stow away?
That might be a better
With all
idea,
of them?
actually. That depends how big the shipment is. I mean, we can stuff you in a barrel or something, right, Howle?
I'm not thinking of me, I'm thinking of Big Boy.
You just look over the fact that Kai, Cat, and Zarek are all 7 foot tall.
we can put a tarp over him. It's fine.
Wait,
look.
idea. We knock out the people doing the shipment, because these guys have never seen us. What if we just take their clothes?
I mean, I'm pretty good at disguising myself as other people. I'm a pretty good actress, you know.
No, am I.
What
Like,
if
we
we
can
just
just act
collide
like
with the best
this
of them?
is what we're meant to be.
What if we just find
I've
someone with access cards and...
I've got an idea. I've got a better idea. What if we go with your idea, Howle, of pretending to be the people, like gods or something, and then we can say that Cass and Zarek are being taken.
Prisoners!
Yeah, you got it, Kai. Yeah.
How would that help?
Yeah, I got you.
Look. We'll figure out we'll figure it out when we see what the shipment is like. Yeah. Like,
We don't even know what
mean,
the Tsar district does. They might not even take prisoners.
that's why I'm trying to look at the tablet. We're working it out. We've got time. We're gonna take a rest. We've got, what'd you say, 4 hours, Kai?
Yep, 4 hours, Captain.
We got 4 hours to, you know, shimmy up a plan. It'll be fine.
Okay.
And if the worst comes to the worst, we just, relieve them of their access cards and possibly their heads.
See?
You know what, big man? I like the way you think sometimes.
Irina, do you have any coffee?
Yeah. From what we can tell from the floor above us, is there a way to get to the reactor from there?
So the reactor itself is specifically isolated to this particular sector. So it's the reactor for this sector. You can get to it from like where the main marketplace is. So actually, where Bildraff's mercantile is, you can get to it from there by going up the little service lift that's in that sector, or you can get to it from where the chapel is. So there is that ruined like cathedral chapel, sort of sitting on the edge of the sector. That also has a service lift that goes up to the reactor itself.
Yeah, we'll see what happens when we go and talk to Gildraff.
We'll figure shit out.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So everybody take yourself a short rest if you need it.
Okay, how do we do
It
this?
does this
So,
automatically.
yeah, it does it automatically. So on your character sheet, if you go into character sheet, top right where your level is, you've got a button for special traits, long rest, or short rest. If you hit the short rest button, it'll ask you how many hit dice you want to use, and it will use your hit dice for you.
It
I
didn't
got all
use
my health back.
It didn't use my hit dice.
You gotta click. So if you go on short rest, you gotta click the roll button next to the
Ah,
D8. Well, mine's a D8.
Rest.
I got 2.
Okay, hit points again.
Oh,
Let's go.
That's all my hit points. Yay!
Yay, I have all my
I was
hit
only
points.
using 2, but
Yay!
So you guys were nice and rested up. You've all managed to recover your health points, which is great. And you've had a bit of conversations going on. So you've been in there for a couple of hours, just having a chat and kind of getting yourself a good little rest. So you've been talking to Arena and Ismark a bit, and they've been talking a little bit about the sector, kind of talking about the problems they've had. So things like there's a lot of mechanical failures that have been happening there that they've been dealing with. Their main concern with everything that's been going on with the sector is that without them there to kind of fix these problems as they happen, there's going to be a lot of problems in the long run. And they're very, very concerned about, things like they've had issues where the oxygen has been switched off and they've had to try and fix that very quickly. And they have concerns that Bildraff will try and ransom these fixes to people because he's known for basically like draining every resource and penny from people that he can.
yeah, I remember even the apothecaries who were like kind of working for him even called him a scumbag.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the gist of the conversation is basically he not good man. Basically,
Really?
is the long and short.
I mean, he was born with the name Bildrath. I don't think he was destined to be a good man.
It reminds me, he was that guy from freaking Arcane, the little scrungly bitch.
Oh,
Me? Smeek?
Smeek! Yeah,
Smeek.
that's what he reminds me of somehow.
He's very like Smeek.
Little scrungly bungly.
So
Let's
where's
go to
Savika when we need her?
I could be Savika.
I could be her.
But yeah, so I mean, you've been having a conversation for a while and kind of making your plans. Obviously, you were talking about ambushing or kind of sneaking aboard the lift back up to Zar when the shipment comes. And Ismark basically is he doesn't want to abandon the admin office because he knows that as soon as they leave, it's going to seal off and they'll lose access to all the resources to help the kind of residents. So they have basically, him and Irina have made the decision to basically temporarily stay and try and find a way of getting Irina some form of admin access to be able to try and use the lifts. But they have also agreed that if you are making this attempt to try and get up to the higher floor, that Irina will help you as much as she can on the condition that she can come with you. But
Is there any way we could stay in touch with them? Like walkie-talkie things that connect to my headphones and things?
They don't have any kind of walkie-talkies. They have like a receiver, so you could reach them, but they can't reach you.
Okay.
Because they have the little communication station that's kind of receiving transmissions.
What about from the iPad I've got?
So the data slates are on like a local loop, so they're not really they're not Wi-Fi. They're just like
Damn it!
like they run through the ship's systems, but they're like more like diagnostics tablets than communicators.
Hey Gizmo.
Would Grimdark be able to do anything?
I don't think Grimdark's
gonna say,
just
what
the
if
ship,
we-
though.
What if we make it so they can receive and give out? Like, surely we can do that. Gizmo?
I can give it a go.
Yeah, you could make a. I guess it would be. It wouldn't be investigation. It would probably be.
Be something.
What would it be?
Is there a certain tool that you can use?
Would it be history to see if he's done anything like it before?
Be tinkering to.
I guess it would just be a
would
tinkering. It'd be a tinkering tool check, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, do you have a tinkering tool?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have 4 lots of tools.
Dude,
Nice.
that's adorable.
I have cobbler's tools, I have calligrapher's tools, I have thieves' tools, I have tinker's tools.
We trust you with calligraphy.
Someone's got it.
He's literate.
He can read.
Didn't know you could read.
Oh yes, this
Also,
is
like,
important.
Just out of curiosity, how does the because we've taken a short rest, which I'm guessing is like 2 to 3 hours, something like that.
It's an hour to 2 hours.
How an hour to
Okay.
2 hours? So how does the working on Elloriah's blaster thing work? Because that's like what Red elected to do, right?
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
it makes the change permanent. So the pistol is fixed.
Well, hey!
No, I am right. That's how it works, isn't it, Panda?
It takes a total of 8 hours of work,
Ah,
but
so
every
you
time I
still-
work, but every time I work on it, it
Oh, you bank
basically
it.
makes it. I bank the time worked on it.
Yeah.
So
Right,
while I'm
yeah.
while it's my focus of being worked on, it can't be. It's still the shitty version, but it can't break anymore.
Right.
But
Yeah.
as soon as I stop working on it as my main project, it will just disintegrate.
Right, gotcha.
Oh, whoa.
So does that mean if
basically you have to
you-
focus on that for 8 hours until it's fully fixed, and then you can change your focus on it.
Yeah. So I can do it like an hour here, an hour there, an hour here. But as long as I don't
Okay.
take my Scroungecraft and make something else and then try and make that a permanent thing, then the blaster is, while still shitty, it will not break.
Okay, so is this what 2 or 3 hours banked? Because I remember you worked on it before with Scroungecraft, right?
That was
so-
the stabilization, wasn't it?
Yeah, that
Right,
was the
yeah.
creation of the creation of the thing with the environment around me. This
Yeah,
is
the power
working on
core.
it. Yeah, so this will
Gotcha.
be probably an hour and a half, depending.
Yeah, it'd be about an hour and a half from how long you spent.
Okay, sick. So I guess
Cool.
make sure you keep track of that. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
So-
so I will Tinker's tools for
Yeah, if you want to do a Tinker's Tool roll.
yes. Do I get advantage for anybody helping? Maybe having a little bit of a
I'll help out.
on that?
Oh, yeah, I'll
Only
help.
if someone
Um,
has proficiency with Tinker's Tools.
I don't think I have that.
Girl, I know how comms work.
Do you have Tinker's Tools, though?
Maybe.
I'm good with thieves' tools.
Where do I see what I'm good at?
I have a bone saw.
Can
I have a bow.
I steal his tiny hammer? Like, I imagine the Tinker's tools are just like regular tools, but they're just really tiny.
Yeah. Uh,
I have lots of musical.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm saying I'm gonna assume that's a no.
yeah, I'm just looking through.
Yeah.
No one's got Tinker's Tools as a proficiency, so no one knows how to use the tools that you're using.
Can I play?
What the fuck is a
Rickroll?
wrench?
Can I rickroll him?
For fuck's sake.
So I'm rolling a disadvantage.
No, you roll with an
Don't break
extra.
my fucking blaster, bro.
You
No,
you-
this is for the communication thing.
I have. Okay.
For the people,
I
in,
will
for the
use one
people
of
in chat,
those.
this is the song that Starry is playing. This is the Never Gonna Give You Up
Recalling
medieval core version.
Are you rickrolling?
If I can get Spotify load.
Oh my god. That is my
no,
body.
do you have a fucking
inspiration.
hardcore Rickroll? This is
Are you
awful.
fucking kidding me?
Add a d6
Can
to
I
that if
assist
you want.
Starry?
Oh, you've got a vial, haven't you?
Yeah, and I'm proficient with it.
You've got a violin?
Yep.
So 20 total. This is for
love
making it
this.
so their comms can contact us and we can contact them.
Yes.
Right?
You've just got me and Zarek in the back. Never gonna give
So
you
so you were able to do that. So they will be able to reach you, and you'll be able to reach them as well.
There we go.
So you're able to make the tools two-way communications.
Hell yeah.
Never gonna make you
Perfect.
cry. Never gonna say goodbye.
I did not consent to this!
No one consents to the Rickroll. Also, you've all got inspiration.
Wow.
Because Rickroll.
Okay. So, you spend a bit of time working on the machine Gizmo, and you're able to make it a two-way communication. And Irina and Ismark basically set themselves up so they have access to the tool. Why is the twist command not working? Because Mix It Up isn't loaded.
Oh, Mix It Up hasn't loaded.
No.
We can't forget about the D&D merch.
Yeah, well, why is that not loaded? Why isn't... Okay, I think I might have just forgot to load it.
Why isn't it working? Oh, it's not open.
Why is it not working? Because I'm an idiot. Twast.
I love how Nutty always comes up with
give me a
weird
second to
fucking
load.
commands.
Oh, we've got Ray coming in as well.
Hey,
Winter! Welcome in, Raiders!
Winter!
I hope you're all doing well. Welcome into our D&D session. We are playing D&D Dreadship. Grimdark, Curse of Strahd. What the hell's just gone on with my... Grimdark, Curse of Strahd. We are just finishing up a long rest, a short rest, and getting back into it while I fix some shit in the background. Yes, welcome in, Raiders. For those who don't know me, my name is Wyldosis, the Avatar of Terror. I do primarily horror content as well as tabletop content like the D&D that you can see today. And yes, I'm joined by a wonderful group of VTubers who I am attempting to scare the crap out of. And I think I succeeded earlier.
Succeeding.
Little bit.
Right now you're failing.
But yeah, I hope your stream was good,
my
Winter.
chair.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope your stream was good, Winter, and welcome in, everybody. Okay, so you've worked on your communicator. You've got the communicator running in both directions, and you're able to carry on. So Irina and Ismark, they kind of set themselves up at the admin station. They move all the communicators onto the middle desk so that they're able to communicate with you guys. And Ismark kind of comes over to you and says, now, if you're going down to see Bildraff, just beware that he's, well, shady is an understatement. Watch your pockets and watch your backs. Also, if you're going into the mercantile to confront him, don't confront him in aggression in the storefront itself. That bay that he's set up in has some, well, nasty self-defenses. Make sure not to strike out in aggression in the actual mercantile, or you'll be in a lot of trouble. But sure thing.
Are the vents secured?
Fuck's sake!
Gizmo!
I don't know much of the structure of the inside of the mercantile, but I don't think he's modified it much from the old class ship, so then you should be able to get through the vents.
Hey, Ismark.
Yes?
Is there something that Bildrath is particularly, you know, interested in or holds close to his heart? Anything that we could possibly, you know, use to soften him up a little bit. You know what I'm trying to say?
We love a bit of leverage.
Let's go.
Off the top of my head, I don't know anything that he's particularly scared of or involved with. I know that he has beef with the priest from the chapel, but that's all I really know.
Oh.
I'm not quite sure why.
Okay.
Do we have time to stop there, maybe? How far is it? It's not that far, right?
It's all within the same sector, so it's all, you know, within 15-20 minutes walk of each other.
Okay, what are we looking at time?
So it's been about an hour and a half. So we've got about 2:30 until the shipment arrives. Yeah.
2:30.
Yep.
2:30.
Yeah, time for the dentist, mate.
What if we quickly
Get those little chompers
stop
looked
by
at,
the
yeah?
chapel? Just very, very, very quickly stop by the chapel.
Might be worth our time. Yeah.
Have a poke through.
Maybe we can find some something to loosen his gears. You know what I mean?
Sounds like a plan. Hey, this priest though, there's a whole church for this reactor god, yeah? I'm guessing that's what the religion is.
Ah,
That's
good
very
point,
true.
actually.
I would like to find out more.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So plan then. We'll head to church. See what we can find out about Bildrath, and then take it from there. Yeah, guys.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, so the six of you make your way down the maintenance bridge past where you met Strahd, and onto the stairs that lead down to the marketplace. Ismark and Irina stay behind to kind of do some last bits of kind of structuring things together so that the residents can be safe for as long as possible.
I leave them a cupcake each, by the way.
Yeah.
I think I've got maybe 2 left.
As we're walking, I'd like to do a little test on the comms, like testing, this is Howle.
You hear Ismark's voice on the other side, kind of pushing the button, going, "We read you, Howle."
Yo! It works!
Yes.
Yep. I clap excitedly.
Yep.
And you make your way down into the marketplace. And when you get to the marketplace itself, there's kind of a separation of kind of directions that you can go in. Bildrath's is kind of in the centre of the marketplace. The shields are still up. So he hasn't returned as of yet to what you were aware of.
Okay.
But you are able to head up towards where the chapel is. And you make your way out of the edges of the sector towards where this chapel is. Let me just bring up some info. Okay, so you make your way towards this chapel on the outskirts of the sector, and it is this kind of, when you're moving up to it, you can see it's made of mixtures of kind of pieces of ship and pieces of black steel, all kind of crossing into this jagged approximation of a cathedral. And above it is that upside down castle spire that was coming from the upper floors, that is directly above it, pointing down. As you approach in, you can see that the chapel itself is kind of separated from the rest of the sector, and you can see a service lift on the right-hand side that is leading up straight the way into the reactor itself. That kind of comes from the side of the chapel up to the upper floors, to where the reactor is. But the chapel itself is this kind of jagged structure made of these kind of folded black steel plates. Are you just going in, or are you doing anything around the outside before you go in?
Just have a quickie looky boppy around
Did you say the
I'd
reactor?
like to.
Did you say the reactor's outside?
There's a lift outside that goes up to the reactor itself.
Right. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over people.
No, you're all good. I was about to say, can I like check around the church? Because like we came through that place that had all the graffiti that was like against the reactor god and stuff previously.
Don't sniff it! Don't sniff it!
Well, I want to look around to see if there's any signs of anything similar to that, like any defacements or like I'm interested on like what the kind of two factions are, because obviously we have the reactor god, but there's very clearly a separate faction at work. So I'm kind of looking around to see if there's any signs of like, I don't know, attack or defilement upon the church.
Okay, so
Can I help with this?
you
Can I
can
use my
indeed.
nose as well? Sniff around, see if anyone's been around here.
So you can indeed. All of you working together with your passive investigation, you would very clearly see that yes, there has been defacements and attacks on the church. There's lots of blaster marks where it's clearly been gunfights have happened. There are sword marks where there's been sort of scraps just outside the actual church itself, and there's also loads of graffiti saying similar things to what you saw earlier: death to the reactor gods, the god is a lie, he is not a god, he is a man, things like that.
Right. Okay. In that case, I am satisfied with my investigation of the church. I'm happy to move forwards.
Okay. Does anybody else want to do anything outside before you head in?
Did I sniff anything? Sniff?
There were no scents that made much of an impact. Largely, it just smells of decaying metal and incense.
Yeah, okay. moving on.
Okay, so you all make your way into the entrance of the chapel, and the air is thick with this unsettling mix of, like Howle smell, decaying metal and the sharp tang of ancient incense. There's a large glass ceiling that is originally a viewing window from a long scrapped vessel that kind of looms across the ceiling, cracked and riddled with dark streaks that suggest the passage of many, many years. The entire interior is lit with these red dim emergency lighting that casts everything in this kind of somber, almost hellish glow, causing the shadows to dance and stretch across the grimy surfaces as the reactor glows above and it gets distorted through the window above. The steel walls are scavenged, and they're made with the kind of scavenged black plating again from the reactor shielding, and are layered with grime and the faded remnants of what was once a different faith. There are loads of hollow paintings of saints, which have got their visages kind of flickering and glitching, their ethereal images kind of shimmering with like a long abandoned energy source, and they kind of dissolve into static before reforming, looking almost like ghosts against the walls. The chapel,
It's cool as shit. Techno priests.
hell yeah. The main chamber has got rows of pews that have actually been crafted from kind of corroded metal, many of which are kind of twisted and broken through neglect or despair. The seats are bolted to the floor with mismatched tiles, some of which have been pried loose, and you can see there's pipes below that are kind of hissing with releases of pressurized steam. At the far side of the chamber is an altar, a centerpiece to the church itself, once a symbol of hope, now just a slab of pitted steel marked with deep grooves, and you can see that there are claw marks as if something monstrous had clawed it at some point in the past. There are candles that are lining the edges of the altar, with the wax melting and frozen into these kind of grotesque formations, with the flames just like sputtering weakly in this heavy, suppressive air. A single cracked reliquary sits across the top of the altar, its contents long since missing, with these faint runes carved into its surface that occasionally pulse with a faint, sickly green light. And above the altar is a painting of a being that has been kind of, the center of its chest is opened up with this large electrical energy ball in the center of its chest that is connected by wiring and electricity to the inside of what looks like a reactor.
Right, got it.
And you can hear the faint like hum of hidden speakers that are playing this kind of ghostly, distorted whispers, prayers, and chants. These tones kind of rising and falling like kind of, how can I explain it? Kind of like a distant cry of these voices. It's maddeningly inconsistent. It kind of blends in with the clank of the ship's, machinery to create this really weird, otherworldly feeling. And the only person that you can see of interest in the whole area is that there appears to be a priest who is standing at the altar. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna take a slow walk through. Not really like making my presence, like not making like loud noise, basically, like trying to sound respectful. Gonna be like, hey, priest, Mr. Priest. God, sorry, excuse me. Sorry,
That was so cute, though.
You know what?
As you
Keep the sneeze in.
yeah.
That was canon.
As you sneeze, the priest is startled for a second and looks up at you.
Oh, good heavens!
Oh, good heavens! So the figure that looks at you is a human, but you can see he is very much a hollow shell of a man. He's got this frail body that's wrapped in the tattered remains of a priest's habit, stained with oil, blood, and grime. His skin is pale and ashen from prolonged exposure to the ship's erratic life support systems. His skin hangs loosely on his bones, and he's got these sunken eyes that are once kind and compassionate, but now look haunted. He's got what was once a ivory rosary, which is now all the metal fittings on it are rusted and corroded. That's clinks faintly as it hangs around his neck. The beads kind of cracked and worn from years of frantic prayer. He's trembling both with age and what looks like dread, clutching a rusted plasma gun. An odd choice for a man of faith. He's kind of breathing quite labouredly, as though he is struggling to get his breath, even though he is just basically standing there. Obviously very, very elderly, but also very, very worn down by the ship itself. And he looks up at you with these kind of sunken eyes. Hello, you are new here.
Yeah, sorry about that. Nearly caused your fight to death, right? So we got a couple questions. My name's Hex. I'm Captain Hex. This is my crew.
Hello.
We're trapped here.
He looks at you and goes, more of the captain's playthings, I take it.
I don't identify as a plaything. I don't think my crew do either. We kind of like we're wanderers. We're adventurers, Let's not be playthings for now. Yeah, that's great. So the questions, yeah. We heard from your buddy Ismark that you don't get along with a Mr. Bildraff. Am I right?
He sort of leans back as you say that and goes, Bildraff, he's not of the faith, like many here. But Bildraff actively is trying to... He kind of looks over and you can see he looks at like bullet wounds and kind of all these kind of scars of past battles that you can see against the walls. He goes, he doesn't understand. He just doesn't understand. And he wants to take everything from me.
What doesn't he understand?
He sits back. Stands back and says, Bildraff believes himself above everyone. He doesn't understand the power of faith and doesn't understand what we do for those that we believe in.
And you see, we're not from around here, obviously. Can you tell us about your faith? Not just like a summary, if you don't mind.
Don't hold sermon.
He looks over and just says, there was once a severe breakdown of the reactor above that brings life to us, and also death, of course, as all things do. But several years ago, way before our generation, maybe 7 or 8 back, the reactor went into meltdown, and a Warforged stepped forward. He gave his body, gave his life to stop meltdown and to stabilize the reactor. And the power of the reactor fed into him, and he became more than a Warforged, more than a man, and became one which protects us, where possible, from the failing radiation and the encroachment of those above from the castle.
Right.
Is now a good time to mention that, like, during this whole thing, like, with the, like, everybody sort of going into the church, I've seemed very, like, tentative and, like, suspicious, and, like, I'm kind of, like, squinting a little bit at the priest's words. That's kind of, like, I'm kind of, like, hanging back and, like, looking around really suspiciously.
Whilst you're hanging back and you're kind of looking around suspiciously and kind of analysing things, you look around and roll a perception check for me.
Okie dokie.
Howl's definitely not been going, ooh, shiny, and looking at different things.
Like, Kai is, like, actively, for some reason, he's really icked out by this whole thing, and he doesn't really know why.
Icky.
So as you're kind of making your way around the outside of the room, you come past this kind of side doorway, which is kind of illuminated by these kind of malfunctioning LED strips around the outside of the door. That seems to be a chamber that comes off the main room. And as you're coming past that door, you hear, just faintly in the distance, what sounds like someone screaming. But only for a second.
Am I, like, can I see if I can, like, check inside, like, really carefully? Like, can I do, like, a stealth check to, like, sneak in?
You can indeed do a stealth check.
Dude?
You can indeed do a stealth check.
Indeed.
Can I reroll that?
You can use your reroll, yes.
My roll's a bit trash this session. There we go.
Don't dish your rolls, because then that happens.
Okay, so you are able to, while this conversation's going on in the main room, you kind of slip away from the crowd and disappear into this side room.
Okay. I will leave my actions at that while the rest of the conversation proceeds.
Okay.
Reminder that everybody but me is inspired.
Yes.
I am no longer inspired.
Okay.
I use my reroll.
No, from
No.
Body inspiration.
You got Rick-rolled.
Oh,
You
okay, so
have
that
an
I
extra
still
roll.
have a reroll. Hell yeah.
You
Okay.
still have bardic inspiration, so you have a D6 to add to
You
your
have a
rolls.
D6.
Fucking
Yes.
D6 to add to the rolls. Okay,
Yeah.
so I don't have a
Okay.
reroll, but I can add. Gotcha.
Yeah. So you start making your way down into that side room. So while this is going on, the priest looks over at you all as kind of clutches at his rosary. Says, "Well, if you're here, you must be." And he looks over at you all and kind of sees that you're kind of. You can see that you've kind of got bits of like soot and kind of scratches and that from where you kind of fell in the lift and got your damage to you. Says, "You must be all new arrivals. If you would like, we can provide you with some food and rest whilst you prepare whatever it is your next steps are."
That'd be lovely, but we just ate.
It's fine. It's fine.
Thank you for the offer.
You got-
Yeah, we're
Insight
good.
check.
You look like you need it more than us. What was your name again?
My name is Father Donovan.
Yeah,
close
you look like you need it more than we do, to be
Daddy
fair.
Donny.
He kind of smiles and nods and says, "Very well." And you guys kind of having a conversation with him while we jump over to what's happening with Kai. So, Kai, you find yourself in a narrow passageway illuminated by faint malfunctioning LED strips. It's a very cluttered, claustrophobic space that's filled with rusting equipment and shattered data slates, etched with strange archaic symbols and remnants of abandoned experiments. And it opens up at the far side of the room far side of the corridor into a almost like a lab. So there's a couple of experimental spaces, like so there's a workbench, there's like a little alchemy bench as well that have been used, you can see recently. Chained to the wall on the far side of the room is a figure. And you can see that they are bound by very thick blackened chains to the wall. And you can see that they're kind of covered with what looks like the top end of a a tarp that's been used to kind of cover and hide them there. But you can see the chains are also carved with runes that are flickering faintly and pulsating in time with what seems to be the breathing of this figure underneath this tarp. You can see the ground underneath them, where it has got the kind of steel flooring, is stained dark, and the air in the room that you're in is colder than anywhere else that you've been on the ship so far. Even the lights around him aren't lit as brightly. Almost as though the light is hesitant to venture too close to him.
Okay, so he's chained up. Can I try and, like, take the tarp off?
You can indeed. Make a sleight of hand check.
Sick. Also, do I have to, like, make any saving throws for, like, past trauma or any shit like that? I'd also like to add my inspiration to this. So 1d6, right?
You can, yes.
So that's 13 plus 5, so 18 total.
Okay. So you start making
Thank
your
you,
way.
Rickroll.
Yeah, you rickrolled yourself into.
Like as I go to like take the tarp off, I'm just quietly going, "Never gonna give you."
Lay you down. Okay, so you sort of slowly make your way, and you're able to lift this this tarp. So the figure that you see below it is a gaunt, wretched figure. You can see their body has been twisted by exposure and experiments. He's got this kind of flesh pale and pox-marked with radiation burns. You can see his his movements are jerky and inhuman, as though his bones are no longer his own. He's got these sunken eyes that are gleaming with this red feral light, keeping him alive, but what looks like he's in constant pain. His body has been shattered, and he's got this mismatched exoskeleton that has been grafted onto the outside of his body to aid him moving, with all of his joints whirring and sparking with every movement. And he's this just terrifyingly gaunt and kind of mismatched figure. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw due to your past experiences.
Okay. Yeah, like the second I heard lab, I was like, Kai's not gonna like this.
Okay. So you look at this figure in horror and take a step back for a second as you get flashbacks starting to flash into your mind, just snippets of background, that things that you can't remember, just flickering into your mind. You get these fragments of memories of people that you don't think you've ever met, but feel intensely familiar. Almost like a whisper. You try to block it out of your mind, but they get louder and louder and louder. And you just hear a voice say, "He's still alive, and he's out there. You're not alone." That's all you get.
Okay.
And then you snap back into reality with this figure in front of you.
Oop, there goes gravity.
Is
Fucking hell! I know. I was thinking the same thing though. I
Yeah,
can't make you angry.
so is the figure aware of me? Like how cognizant is it?
So it's definitely aware of you. You can see that it doesn't look like it's got much intelligence behind its gaze. It looks very, very feral. It hasn't tried to attack you, mainly because it can't move very well because of its body being so damaged. But you can see it's very, like, the way the mechanical limbs and the exoskeletons are moving with this kind of disjointed, jerky motion. It's slowly trying to reach out towards you, but not moving very quickly.
Is there, like, I can tell he's not in a good state, and my thought process is, like, I want to like this is obviously like a victim, and as a like a fellow former experiment, I kind of want to see if I can help. Like, can I like check around to see if there's any like water or like rations or something I can try to like give to it?
You can indeed make an investigation check. I'm going to show you something as well. Oh, that's come up on screen.
Oh.
This is the figure that you're seeing.
Oh!
God damn.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Holy
That's fucking crazy.
And none of us know this is
Well, this is the figure
happening.
that Kai's seen. We don't
Figure
see
that
him.
Kai's seen, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
So here's my
no.
investigation. Fuck.
You appear to be in a room that is a room.
It's friend shape.
It's French shape.
Can I try like a survival check to see if I can like patch it up or
with
help
your
it in
natu-
any way?
Well, with your natural one, you see sitting on the alchemy desk various liquids that look, and some of which look like they would be safe to drink.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So some of
Get
which,
such a bad feeling.
can I pick up one of the safe ones and like test it slightly? Not like fully drink, but like can I like taste it?
You can indeed. So you just take the smallest of sips. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Right.
No.
Getting
Who saw this coming?
There we go.
Hey.
Pot. Oh.
Wait,
Okay.
that's
One or the
back
other.
to
I can
back.
like 20 be on a fucking
Well, that's another back-to-back.
yeah. That's kind of insane, huh?
Natural one, natural 20.
We
Yeah.
have two now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
last
insane.
Last session, you did the advantage roll with a natural 20 and a natural 1.
That
Yeah.
was
Yeah, that was good once though. That was insane.
That
Yeah.
was Panda.
That's what Panda did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I save against whatever it was. Does that mean I can tell what it is?
No, it just means that there's no negative effects.
Like, am I able to tell anything from it? Like,
The only thing you'll be able to really tell is that it clearly isn't water. It has kind of like a taste of, like a tang of metal. It tastes almost like it is. I'm guessing like drinking brake fluid.
Ew.
Lovely.
Tangy.
God, this is rough. Okay, I'm not gonna risk this. Is there any way? Okay, I want to try and do like a survival check to see if I can, or would it be like a medical check to see if I can like try to help him or patch him up somehow?
You can make a medical check. Okay. So you move up to this figure and start to kind of look at the wounds where it's been kind of attached. As you do, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
You're good at these.
Should be good.
You're good at these. You're good at these.
Come on,
Another-
Kai, you got it.
21.
21.
Oh.
Question mark.
21. Question mark.
Oh,
mark.
he's rolling
Question
it.
mark. You rolled it.
Really
You
wants to hit
rolled
me
it.
with it.
That wasn't a reroll.
Oh, it wasn't. Okay.
Oh.
No. So,
Bollocks.
as you move in close, the limbs that were moving really, really slow before, as soon as you lean in close, the one arm moves with unnaturally fast movement.
Oh.
As all of the steam and the energy of the joint cracks as his hand moves out and grabs you by the wrist. And this figure turns and looks directly into your eyes, and you clearly see, as he slowly opens his mouth and reaches out towards you, fangs. And you can see underneath the cloak, where his his skin is exposed, a small shard of red crystal with luminescent black smoke going down their
my God.
veins.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay,
And-
Can I say something to it?
You can.
Like it's an it.
Oh no.
Well, yeah. Can't really tell gender from the skeleton we saw.
I don't want to offend it.
So I go, hey, stop, shh, it's okay. I get it, yeah? I was where you were. I want to help.
You feel its grip tighten. I need to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, you're not good at those.
And
Yeah.
none of us know this is going on.
Fuck.
Oh no.
You feel this crushing intensity as the hand crunches into your wrist. You take...
Please tell us one of us would like hear this or like.
So you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage
Jesus, that's half my health almost.
Fuck.
as he pulls
He's a
you
strong skelly.
to the ground. And I need you to make another strength saving throw.
Shit.
Is this where Kai actually fucking dies?
Nipple.
No.
It might be. Jesus, I'm fucked.
This figure releases for a second and looks at you with this look of confusion for a second, almost like it's not aware of its own actions.
Can I use this moment of lucidity to say something?
You can, yes.
You hate them, right? I know. I did too. I still hate them. I want to let you out. Just let me help.
He leans back against the wall where he's chained and pulls at the chain that's holding him. And for the first time since you walked in the room, you hear this crackly, almost like it's coming through a intercom type voice come from the figure as it kind of tries to get its breath. And you can see that it tries to get this breath, but it's not moving with the breath. You can just see the energy in the chains glow slightly as if it's a life support system of some kind. And it looks at you with this intense look and just says,
"Oh, fuck. Yeah."
Was I supposed to not be able to understand because I don't think I caught what it said?
it said, "Father kept me here."
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Do you want to
Not for
leave?
real long.
It pulls at its chains. It goes, "Cannot leave. Captain calls to me. Cannot. Must." And it pulls at the chain again. And as it pulls at the chain, you hear a rolling of these chains moving through some kind of system in the background. It just goes, "If I leave, I will feed."
Oh shit.
What? Do you have a name?
Doru.
Okay, Doru. I'm sorry about all this. I understand, I do. I promise I'm gonna get you help. We'll help you, I promise. And then Kaya's gonna, like... I'm assuming that, like, he will have seen, like, whatever's, like, keeping him there, like, Father keeping him there, has probably given him, like, various different liquids. I'm gonna, like, move everything from the alchemy table to within, like, reach, but try to, like, keep out of danger myself, if I can. So that, like, he's gonna know those liquids better than I would assume. So in the hopes that he'll be able to give himself a bit of sustenance and a bit of survival, I'm gonna, like, lay those out in front of him so that he can try and do something to help himself.
Yeah, you're able to move that kind of like the the top of the alchemy table's got like a tray on it with loads of the chemicals in. You're able to move that closer. And you're able to do it safely.
Okay.
And Doru reaches out with the really slow mechanical movements and grabs a vial of red liquid. And just looks up at you and goes, "Blood is life.
Right.
Part of the ship." And takes a drink.
Okay. So I'm gonna I kind of give him a little nod and I say, "I promise, Doru, I'll be back for you. All right? It might be a little bit, but I promise I'll be back for you. All right?"
He looks up at you.
Hang
with
in there.
This look of almost like not so much a sorrowful look, but not even hopeful, just hollow, and doesn't really respond as you step backwards.
Okay. And I'm gonna sneak back out while checking for other shit along. I want to look for other dirt along the way out. I doubt there's gonna be some because it seems like this was kind of the corridor to the thing that's being kept.
Yeah, I mean the corridor itself is just like a lit corridor, just a dimly lit corridor.
In that case, I quietly slink out and kind of rejoin, but kind of stealthily creep to just kind of hang out and keep my arms crossed by the entrance.
Perfect. What are the rest of you guys doing? Because you're still in the room with Father Donovan.
Would any of us have noticed he was missing?
We'd have to roll perception, wouldn't we?
Let me just have a look at your passive perceptions, but you wouldn't have been actively looking. So,
Yeah, because I snuck out with stealth and shit, right?
yeah, Cass would have noticed. You got passive perception of 17. You would have noticed. Gizmo
What did you
wouldn't.
say passive perception?
It's the number next to your skill. So you've got skill, you'll have plus whatever it is, and then you'll have a number. So Hex wouldn't have noticed either.
I'm blind as fuck.
Howle wouldn't have noticed. Zarek wouldn't. So the only one that would have noticed would be Cass.
Okay, as stealthily as I can, I kind of sneak over to Kai. It's not like pardon?
You'd be able to. You don't need to stealth over. You can just walk over because you're in the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to interrupt the conversation with the priest.
Yeah.
I kind of reach over a little bit and whisper. Find anything interesting?
We've got to get the fuck out of here. This priest is not what he seems.
Getting that opinion. Okay, so I look at the priest. So, do you hear this god that you worship, the machine, the reactor god?
He kind of looks over at you and he kind of holds his hand out. You can see he's shaking and says, "I do not hear the god, but I visit the god." And he holds his hand shaking, and you can see that he is very clearly suffering from radiation poisoning. And he very clearly has been going up to the reactor to see this entity.
Perhaps at some point I may be permitted to see them as well.
He welcomes all. The Nullspark. He welcomes you.
The what? No.
The Nullspark. What are you guys doing?
Would that be something that we're familiar with?
It's essentially the name that they're giving to the reactor god.
Okay, right. So hey, Father Donovan, right?
Yes.
You said you've been having. Let's go back to Buildrath, right? So we, you scratch our back, we'll apply lotion to yours.
Love it.
Do you have any information about him that we could possibly use against him? Does he have anyone that maybe, he holds did his heart. Can you see where we're kind of going with
has a
this?
He looks kind of over. Briefly, for a second, he looks at the door that Kai just came out of, and then looks back towards you and just goes, Bildrath only cares of information and power. If you can find a trade of information he wants, he will give you what you want.
Do I notice him looking?
You would, yeah.
Shit. Okay. I'm gonna lean in close, a little bit closer to the priest. And what kind of information do you have?
I know how to use the reactor god's influence to keep alive those that should not be.
And what would you want in return for that information?
He looks at his hands for a second and looks shakily at the blaster that he's got and says, all I wish for is peace.
And I think it's bullshit.
Can I insight check that?
Yeah, can we all insight check?
You can insight check, yes.
The way we all think he's bullshitting.
I'll just do
I'd also-
shifty, bro. It's the
I'd
way
also like to-
This whole religion is bullshit, to be fair, so far.
Yeah.
I also like to mention how Kai is doing at the moment. He's like kind of like looking off to the side, breathing heavily, like clutching his wrist where Doru like grabbed him to try and like hide it. But he's kind of like he's starting to oh shit.
The two insight checks I've done, I've got a natural 20 on there.
How
Fantastic.
look over and shoot him a quick message, which is in his head, so he doesn't have to worry about anyone hearing it.
You can.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He looks around for a few seconds and then realizes that it's coming from you.
Oh, that was to Kai.
Oh, to Kai, sorry, I thought you were talking about to the priest.
No,
and was
that's
like,
to Kai. Fuck
Kai,
the
okay,
priest.
to Kai. Then, okay, yeah, that's fine.
So like hyperventilating a little bit, like breathing heavy. Kai just keeps repeating like, I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. I've got to go.
Hal's trying to come up with an excuse.
Whilst you're thinking of your message and the insight check, he seems to genuinely be wanting peace, but he is clearly scared of something and trying to hold himself together. So he's responding more out of fear than out of malice, if that makes sense.
Got it, cool. I can use that.
I got fear. I know fear.
I don't know how to do
Before
that.
anything else, Hal's just gonna be like, I smell something weird. Hey Kai, let's go check that out. And she's just gonna drag him outside.
Perfect. You kind of make up your excuse and you kind of move over to Kai and grab him by the arm and lead him out of the church.
Are we gonna continue that part, or are we gonna clear up like the rest of the group in? Because I don't want to like interrupt
clear the
what's
group.
going on
Clear the
inside
group
first.
first, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put my hand. I'm gonna just unholster my blaster and like look at it, like inspect it in front of him. What did he say to me? Oh no, I insight checked him. Yeah, that was it. That's it.
Yeah.
So would you say, you know, your life, the people's lives here, are worth that information? And I want to intimidate him.
Roll intimidation check.
Oh,
Don't forget you have the bardic. You have the
I
rip
don't-
roll.
Hopefully
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Roll a fucking
Perhaps you
bardic.
might.
I want to use my reroll.
Your reroll?
Yeah, I have a
Yes.
reroll.
Oh, you
Yeah,
have
I
a
think the group
reroll.
has 3, and I think most people have 1 as well.
I
I
don't.
used mine.
I've never
I've
had
already used
one.
mine.
I've still got mine.
Oh, that's better. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
25.
Okay, so I'm just gonna check something very quickly.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Or.
He is clearly intimidated. And you can see this look of fear cross his eyes as he goes, all lives here are worth everything. And he kind of looks down as he places his hand sort of on his side and raises his other hand face up, and you see flames light in his hand as he says, we are all victims of circumstance. He looks at you and says, but I can see that you have your own agenda, and I must... You can see he just looks shaken. What do you want to do after your intimidation?
What did he say? He said that he knew how to harness the power of life, right?
Yes.
No, was it? Yeah, I thought so. Teach us how to harness this life.
It is not a simple process. I can teach others, but it takes time. It takes effort. And he looks at your cybernetics. And it cannot be taught. To those who rely on masters to empower them.
I'm not the only master here.
He laughed.
No, that's the wrong way. That was the wrong thing. No, one sec. I'm not the. Oh, that was it. I'm the only one with a master here.
He reaches out with his hand and he casts Bless on you.
There you go.
So
Bless up.
I did sneeze earlier, to be fair.
yeah, bless you. So basically, whenever you make an attack roll or saving throw before the spell ends, you can roll a D4 and add it to your saving throw. Which basically looks
Okay.
like a
Nice.
minor blessing.
Okay, cool.
And he says, I know what you seek. I cannot give you leverage on Bildrath because what he wants is not something that I can give. And he looks over to the door again and he goes, I will not hand my son over to Bildrath.
Why does Bildrath want your son?
He holds the key.
What key?
The key to life?
The key to surviving through Strahd's machinations. The key to surviving the transformation.
Transformation?
Okay.
And he, as you said the word transformation, he goes, the crystal that Strahd uses for his power can be shattered and given to others. Those he gives it to become something new. My son is the only to have survived the transformation without becoming what Strahd seeks to turn those he wants control of into. If Bildrath can control that, he will take over everything.
So, what you're saying is you're useless to us in this situation.
He sort of looks down and goes, no one has use for an outdated priest like myself.
Could you teach one of us how to handle said power?
Also, no life is useless.
He looks over at you and says, it cannot be taught, but I can demonstrate. However, it is dangerous, and I would need a new subject.
Go on. Expand. I'm a fan of experimentations here.
We're in an ad break.
Okay, we wait.
Shit!
Fuck.
It can. Hang on. It cannot be teached.
It can't be taught.
Can be teached.
Not be teached.
It can't be tortured.
Yeah, he's been intimidator, Ed. Don't be mean to him.
He's old. He's delirious.
Prick.
Also, the DM's illiterate.
Right, I'm going for a quick loo break.
English is a hard language. Understood.
And we just, so people are aware, we will be finishing up relatively soon, so I know we said we'd finish up about 10:30, so
Yeah.
we'll finish up soon. So we'll get the end of this encounter done. We'll cut out two that's going on outside, then we'll finish up.
Yeah, I have a little plan.
Because you're gonna get comforted the hell out of.
I want a crystal.
No!
This is my plan here. I want a crystal.
Bro, we're
like
trying to
that.
figure out a way to fucking get to Bildrath, and no one has nothing.
I mean,
I have chronic pain.
if somebody is used for the experiment, then we have what Bildrath wants.
I don't think
many
many
you
of us
want
would
that.
let you do that. I know Howle
Don't really
wouldn't.
care what Bildrath wants.
I need to care what
All I can
Bildrath
tell
wants
is
at the
one thing
moment.
he wants more than anything.
Hear
an
me
axe to
out,
the
hear me
face.
out. We can just bullshit because we know what he wants now. Bullshitting is
That's
always
good,
an option.
actually. That's a good point. Yeah.
But I want a crystal.
Like,
I've touched a crystal. I have fisted a robot. I have felt a crystal. I want one of my own now.
We're out of the ad break, by the way.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, we just wait for time to get back. And then we'll carry on, but yeah. Just while we wait for that, I've got to say I did not expect someone to go into that room on their own. That could have gone very, very wrong
And
very,
of
very
all
quickly.
people, it has to be Kai.
I gotcha.
Just so you know, he failed his second grapple check, which probably would have killed you.
Oh my god.
Oh, but you could have re-rolled it.
I know, but
13 rerolls.
yeah, I'm limiting myself to one reroll per encounter.
Okay.
Nice.
That's good.
Sorry, I missed what was going on, sorry.
No, we didn't carry on. We were waiting for you.
I nearly McFucking died, apparently.
Yeah, I was just explaining that, Doru failed his second grapple check against Ken, otherwise it probably would have killed him.
You would care McMeal.
Yeah, you're almost Kai.
That's alright.
Okay, so what did you ask, Panda? Sorry.
I was asking him to go into more details because I am a fan of experiments and I want to hear more.
So he says, if you could bring me one of those turned by Strahd, I could show you the process I used to preserve my son's life. But without... Sorry?
I would also be interested in this because I did experiments with nanobots and stuff before joining Hex.
Yes. So So he kind of, looks at the, again, kind of looks down at his hands and the rosary he's holding and kind of puts his hands together and says, if you could bring me one turn by Strahd, I can show you how I did what I did.
And how do we find the said people?
I imagine they'll find us.
Probably.
He looks over at Cass and basically lets out like a gentle nod and says, "You are Strahd's newest guests. They will undoubtedly come for you."
Love that.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
And then we'll just cut to what's going on outside. So, Kai and Howle, what's going on with you two?
I'm just
Okay.
gonna drag him to like just a secluded spot.
So yeah. When Howle gave Kai like a reason to leave, he like about faces and like almost like sprint walks. He's like visibly trembling. As they like walk outside, he's like walking kind of far ahead, and like you can kind of hear him like heavy breathing through clenched teeth, like kind of like seething, and like his fists are clenched so tightly that they're shaking, and like blood is starting to drip from where his nails are cutting into his palms because he's clenching them so tightly. And like as Howle catches up, Kai just kind of lets everything out, and he goes, I found something. There was some ghoul. There was an experiment. There was a lab. He had all this stuff. He had these chains. He had these things sticking out of him. He had this crystal. His veins were black. His name was Doru. His name was Doru. He can't. Fuck! And he just like full on swings and punches as hard as he can into like a nearby pillar, and he just collapses to his knees. No. Like,
Punches out front. Stop!
You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage from punching the.
yeah, that's fine. Let me update that real quick. I am now on 5 health. There we go. So he like punches like the nearest like pillar thing, and like collapses to his knees, and like he is visibly sobbing. His name was Doru.
Hal's gonna take off her jacket, her brother's jacket. She's gonna drape it over Kai, like lean down next to it, like in front of him, and she's gonna hold his hands and be like, "We'll help."
And then like Kai's eyes are like bright glowing gold as he looks up into Howl's eyes, and all he can say is, "His name was Doru. He's got a name. I don't have mine anymore, but I can't let this happen to someone else."
You're not alone. We're gonna get him out.
You're
It's
damn
gonna
fucking
be
right
fine.
we will. And then Kai, like in a kind of uncharacteristic move for him, he hugs Howle.
Hal happily like hugs him back and is just like rubbing his back. It's like, it's okay. We're gonna be fine. He's
like-
gonna be fine.
Kai just like quietly whispers again, "His name was Doru."
We're
Okay,
gonna make
Yeah,
sure
that's all I
it's
got for that scene.
love it. Okay, so so what's happening over in the church then? What are you guys doing?
Did any of us notice the door that you like looked at when we mentioned?
Yeah, we did.
Hex did, yeah.
Yeah, he quite blatantly motioned to it, didn't he?
Yeah.
I
So
looked towards the door.
what's down the door?
He looks down and goes, "My son."
We're gonna take a look, okay?
He latches tightly to his blaster and just goes,
You don't get a choice. Bye.
We're in his abode. We should give him a choice.
So, Gizmo, as you move towards the door,
Ooh.
roll the search saving throw for me.
Good boys. boy.
Uh-oh.
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 Please tell
Guess
me
we
you have
get
a
shot
reroll.
through the fucking
Please
skull.
tell me you have a reroll. Please tell me you have a reroll.
I'm not using it.
To be fair, he did roll natural 1 on his shot. So
Ah!
I made the dexterity saving throw for tension. So he loses out a shot and it hits the frame of the door next to you. And he goes, "Please don't judge me for what I did."
In retaliation,
Okay,
I want to shoot his hand.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
What am I rolling, sorry?
Just an attack roll.
Just attack and attack roll. Specifically, like
This
the
is
hand with his
your
blaster,
pistol.
okay?
Yeah.
What do you get a natural 1? No, 20. What do you get a natural 20? Thank fuck.
16.
Oh dear.
Give me a second.
The 2 most chaotic ones leave for 2 seconds.
And then the rest of the party goes further over time.
Look, all I'm saying, if it was me with Kai outside, the priest would already be dead. So it's a good job Hex don't
Fair,
know
actually,
yet.
yeah.
So that hits. Roll your damage. First attack of the campaign, by the way.
Oh my god.
How did I get 0? Oh.
That's
Oh.
10.
Oh!
Another
That
400
is
people died.
maximum.
Okay.
That was-
So
Oh no. Oh no.
as
You vaporized the priest.
as you pull your
No!
as you pull your gun up to shoot him in the hand, he places his hand over the barrel. You fire. It goes through the barrel, hits him in the side of the face, and blows the side of his head off. And he falls to the ground. He falls to the ground dead. Because he has 9 hit points.
Wow!
How do you do this?
Okay, no, I'm gonna own it. I'm owning it, guys. I'm owning it.
How do you do this
Question.
every time?
Warning
Here's a question.
shots.
It's like, God fucking damn it, Elloriah.
That's cold! Holy shit!
I have a question.
Yep.
In the previous campaign,
No, stop! Not the previous campaign.
the first
I was
attack
the
roll
one last
was
time.
also
No, it was me, and I insta-killed someone
Yeah.
with Eldritch Blast.
It's like,
Wasn't it
no.
me? With
I
no.
swear
The
to God,
first
it was
attack
me.
roll was shooting the bomb.
it was
No, it was
No, it was
me.
the end of the
I
combat
killed
encounter.
someone.
Yeah. Yeah. Howle
I got the
killed one of
first
the
kill.
guards that came in.
Howle.
Oh.
No, Howle. Sorry,
Stella.
your character. Stella.
My girl. Stella.
So we're on brand. First attack, Eldritch Blast, kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So Hex, you blow the side of the head off this elderly man.
Yeah. So I'm gonna reiterate. I don't shoot warning shots.
It's
Such a
Captain.
cold
God, he
one.
was such a fucking weirdo. Jesus. Right. Jesus. I'm sorry, not Jesus. No, in the house of whatever his name
Reactor
was.
Jesus!
Yes,
Jesus.
Jesus. Right. So he. Let's go then. I guess. Do you want to go?
I glare at Hex, shake my head, and walk off.
And
I'm
as
gonna go into the room.
okay,
No,
Gizmo,
no,
Oh
just-
my god.
So, Gizmo, you make your way down the same corridor that Kai went down earlier on, and you see Doru chained up at the far side of the room.
What up, my dude? How's it going? Not too good by what I can see. Don't mind me. I'll be gone in a moment. I'm just gonna look around at everything except for him.
Okay, roll investigation.
Whee!
Whee!
So it is full of varying chemicals. You can see that there seems to be elixirs that have been made on the alchemy bench area, some of which has now been drank by Doru after it was placed in front of them by Kai. To the left-hand side of the room is like a little machine shop where you can see there has been exoskeleton equipment crafted, which is clearly where the kind of crude exoskeleton that he's wearing has been built. But it doesn't look anything like particularly fancy. It's all fairly like corroded and rusted equipment. You can see it's been in use, but it hasn't been maintained. But it's basically just piles of old equipment.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go through that old equipment and basically just like take apart as much of the exoskeletons I can, as I can, and just take all the best parts, and hopefully I can make a good version of it.
Yeah, I will roll. I'll do it after the session, but I'll roll you like a loot table stuff of
Cool.
bits that you find.
Can I go and have a look at the lab?
You can, yes, as well. So again, you find yourself the same
Interesting duality. We have two people who absolutely love experiments, and then Kai, as an experiment, who fucking hates them.
So, Cash, you can come down to the room where Gizmo's, and again, you see this kind of now fairly tossed up lab as Gizmo's been kind of ferreting through everything and throwing things to the side. And you see, obviously, Doro trying to put the side of the room.
Hey, Cass, welcome into the House of Horror. That's probably the person you're looking for over there.
I wanted to see what they have here, not just who is this? Okay, I walk over to Doro, but not into like grabbing range.
Securely out of attack
Not
range.
into grabby range.
Okay.
Smarter than Kai was.
I wanna keep an eye on Cass and the chains and like the machinery stuff around Doro.
Okie dokie. Cass, make a investigation check.
Okay.
Okay.
23.
Oh, the other one. Oh.
Okay. You kind of are looking around the lab, and you're looking at the kind of, Dora himself. You're looking at the kind of equipment, and you also are looking at some of the files that you can see that the paperwork that's been knocking around on the tables, etc. And although you don't recognize the technology that's holding Dora in place or the technology that's keeping him alive, you do notice something familiar. On the kind of the data console that is next to Dora, that's kind of powering all of the thing that's holding him, you notice a research symbol.
Yeah.
It's a ancient piece of research, but you recognize one of the names of the people on the list. So as you're looking into the list of people that are there, let me just get the information up. You notice the name Dr. Raziel Solstran.
Raziel Solstrom.
Solstran.
Strum or string?
Stran. So Solstran.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And the name is one that is familiar to you because they were one of the researchers that was in your research group on your home planet. And they had travelled off to seek out the course and some information on the artifact that once landed on your planet years ago that you were involved in the research of.
Gotcha.
So you recognise their name as one of the researchers in this data file.
Okay, I can't exactly go pale because I'm a warforged, but yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay. Apart from that, you're looking at Dora and you're kind of seeing the structure that's been holding him together. What do you do?
Can I do anything with it?
You can investigate it if you want to.
Okay. Not with an 11, I can't.
No. So you start taking a look at the equipment, and it's beyond your realm of expertise.
You still have your D6 inspiration.
You do have inspiration.
You still have the Rick roll.
Okay, so what do I...
Just roll d6. You still can't make it out.
Gotta do something right.
you still can't really make out the origins of this tech. It looks like it has been made manually beyond, not so much beyond your expertise, but more that it just hasn't been something that is within your realm of study.
Got ya. Okay.
But something about the whole scene does seem oddly familiar, although you can't place your finger on it. And both of you notice, looking at Doru, that Doru has, after taking a drink of this liquid that Kai's pushed over, he has fell into a slumber, and he is not he's clearly alive, but he isn't moving.
Okay. Is the vial of whatever it was, well, blood or whatever it was? Can I tell what it was?
Again, investigation.
Okay.
Yeah. So with
okay,
that,
that's better.
there are a series of vials that he's drank from. There was a vial of blood.
Mhm.
There was also a vial of a liquid that you can't quite identify. You haven't come across it before. But one thing that you did notice that he's drank from is a vial of what appears to be a electrical suppressant that is used for regulating the electrical current in biomechanical machinery.
Okay. I would like to take a look around the lab, see if I can find other vials of these so that I can replicate them in case we need to subdue anybody else.
From what you can see, the resources there are fairly limited. There was only a small supply, a lot of which has already gone. There is enough of the suppressant for a single dose that you could take with you.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay.
So, while this is happening, is the crystal? From Panda to DM?
Yep.
Is the crystal on display, or will I need to look at him closer?
You would need to look at him closer from the position that he's in, because the clothing that he's wearing does kind of cover it unless he is standing up straight.
Okay. And did the priest ever mention a crystal to them?
Not as such. He mentioned that Strahd transforms people using crystals, but he never mentioned a crystal in his son.
Okay. So now that the priest is dead, and he mentioned, the fact that he's the first one to survive this thing, I want to go have a closer inspection to him.
Okay. And just so you know, we'll do this bit of inspection, and then we will look to finish up.
Yep.
So you want to roll investigation on Doru himself, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
I haven't got to use my reroll for that.
Okay.
Son of a fuck!
Ow.
Okay. So.
The fates have sealed it.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yep. You moving close to take a look, and having a look at Doru, you can see that clearly his body has basically long since stopped functioning, and he's basically been held together by a mixture of an exoskeleton that's kind of working as his bones. But his bones have long since crumbled inside him, and he's now using this exoskeleton to just basically keep alive and keep moving. You also notice that the chains, with your kind of engineering expertise, the chains themselves are marked with runes that are basically, you've seen them in some of the engineering pumps. They're used for pumping liquids. So they kind of work a bit like a gravity seal to pull things through. and that those runes are connected into the chains that are holding him, which are going around his wrist, and they clearly have a pump on the wrist that is basically working as a crude life support system.
Okay.
But you can't make you don't spot the crystal or anything like that in your inspection.
Okay. I will leave what I want to do for the next time.
Okay. So we will look to finish up here. I don't know if you want to make your last action before we finish up, just so we finish up this section. We all meet outside.
Yeah, I just wanted to do one thing.
So Hex has shot this guy in the face
Yes.
in front of the priest.
No, she shot the priest in the face.
Oh, shot the priest in the face.
Yeah. Can I take the priest's gun? And does he potentially have like a ring or something on, or an insignia? Basically something to like.
He had that ring of the reactor god.
Yeah, I want to take the ring as well. And then, actually, you know what? I'm sending a message. Fuck it. I'm gonna cut off their finger with the ring that was on it.
Okay.
And I want to take the finger with the ring on it, so I've got an idea for next session, and I need to make a note.
I was gonna say write that down.
Yeah, you are more than capable of doing that. So you cut the finger off with the ring attached to it.
Yeah.
Gizmo, what was your action you wanted to do?
The last thing I wanted to do was start reaching towards the life support pump.
Okay.
Wire thing.
Okay. And do you want to leave it there for next session, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, and just so we're aware what's going on, I'm readying myself to stop you.
Okay.
And outside, Kai and Howle are probably just playing cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to take your mind off the trauma that's just happened.
Yeah, they're like the bruises on his knuckles and like his kind of bloodied fingers are still there, and like his obvious like crushed wrist.
I mean,
Howle
to be
is just
honest,
struggling with cards.
like as soon as Hex probably saw Kaish, we're probably gonna kill him anyway. So, like he was gonna die either way. I'm just saying.
Yep. And lastly, Zarek, what were you doing? We're at the end.
Not a lot.
Yes,
I
we can't hear
guess.
you.
Just
Just looking around.
for. Yeah, just looking around to see if there's anyone else.
Checking if the pews are
About?
bolted down.
Can I fit a church in my pocket? Cool. Well, I think
I dare say we'll pick the room apart before we leave, but.
Okay. So, outside of the church, Kai, you and Howle are kind of trying to compose yourself after everything that's just happened. Hex, you reach down, you take the finger off this priest, ready to use it to send a message. And Zarek, you're kind of with Hex, keeping things... keeping an eye on what's going on around the church. Meanwhile, in the back room, Gizmo, you start reaching for the life support system, and Cass, you reach out towards Gizmo to stop him from pulling at any cables, and that's where we end the session.